What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Branded Dude here. We have a new replay. We are going up against Crystron Azamina. Same 60 card build, no changes yet. So let's see how we do. We are going first and we open Serenia, Thrust, Red, Cartesia and Adlib. So Cartesia is sort of our only play right now. If it resolves, opponent opens Droplet, Chostaros, Inclusion, Forlos and Nibiru. So we're going to have to deal with these two hand traps, but mainly Forlos. So normal summon Cartesia effect here, which our opponent changed Forlos. He is going to get a draw. Send Serenia, going to Grand Gugno, Chainlink 1, Grand Gugno, Chainlink to Serenia. Opponent draws into both. So here we're going to set up our line to get Brand of Fusion to our hand. So I'll be on the Shrouded, dumps Brand of Fusion. And yeah, luckily for us, our opponent hasn't drawn into Ash Blossom. So Brand of Fusion here is going to resolve. But because we're under Forlos, we are not going to summon too much. So we're just going to Albion. Opponent draws into Subversion, which he is main decking. Kind of crazy. Tribute Albion to summon Bestial Rebellion. Bestial Rebellion here will place Branded Lost. We then go Thrust to set Fusion Duplication. Set Branded in red. Proceed to end phase. End phase Albion here will set up Banishment. So we have the line for Lad. So luckily for us, we have the interruptions we have is Grand Gugno. We have Duplication, Branded Banishment, and Branded in red, which is pretty strong. Pretty strong for us. And we have Adlib in our hand as well, which is goated. So we'll be able to reborn Mergeade or whatever other fusion monster with Adlib. So Cartesia just added itself to hand for Discard Father, and we will pass turn. Opponent draws into Ash Blossom, which is a little too late to the party. Goes to main phase, normal summons Chostaros, and then he activates Subversion, where he's going to target Grand Gugno. Now here, I was contemplating whether I should go Branded in red, target Albaz, right? And then we could just use Adlib and Grand Gugno, going to Dragos to Pelia, and then Adlib reborn Grand Gugno, because I was thinking of doing that, but then I realized, okay, Chainlink 1 is Subversion though, so if we chain this to our whole play, whatever monster effects we trigger, it is going to trigger Chostaros. So I decided, you know what, it's fine, let Grand Gugno go to the Spell and Trap Zone. So totally fine, that hits the Spell and Trap Zone. Yeah, opponent activates Inclusion now, so just for Sofado. Activates Sofado to pop the Inclusion, summon itself, and then it will Foolish Barrier to name. So he sends Dicefern and Selfafnir. Now here I decide, okay, I'm gonna go Branded Banishment because I want to sort of stop him from activating these cards as well. So first I was contemplating, should I go for Chaos Star Source, just get rid of 2 bodies on the field, but I decided no, let's go for Lad because I want to negate these 2 effects. So we are going to fusion summon into Lad himself. So going to Lad, and we'll trigger last year to search for Mercuria, because remember we have duplication, so we'll still be able to summon an Albaz fusion monster. So Mercuria could be a potential negate. Now we have Lad, but here unfortunately our opponent is going to hit us with the droplets in his hand. Yeah, he does hit us with the droplet, so Lad does end up getting negated. That is unfortunate. Then synchros off into F8 Dawn Dragster, which is not going to do anything because we have Branded Lost, but my opponent only realizes a bit later that Dragster can't do anything here. So activates Dicefern and obviously mandatory chainlink to Lad. Just need to remember it will chain block me. Activates Smite to hand, so now Selfafnir has a monster to discard for its effect. So summon itself, pop itself, and then it will trigger to summon, summon Sofado from the deck. Then activates Inclusion to reborn, I think he reborns Chostaros, yeah, reborn Chostaros. But here on res we are going to go Branded in red, target Albaz. And obviously in this situation, because we have Lad, it will be Chainlink 1 red, and then mandatory Chainlink 2 Lad. So Dragster cannot chain directly to Branded in red, but it wouldn't even matter because we also have Lost. But yeah, you'll see in the chatter, Judge enters in. Just my opponent just wanted to get clarity. There was no like foul play or whatever. So yeah, we just allowed it. I mean, I was totally cool with it. So cool. Judge explains mandatory effect will be Chainlink 2. Moving on, we target Albaz with Branded in reds. Here I was planning to go for Chimera. We will send what's the name, Light and Darkness, Adlib and Albaz. Going to Chimera. Chimera here will pop 1, draw 2, and Adlib we would reborn Albion the Branded. We would just pop the synchro, the tuner, so he doesn't synchro summon here. But yeah, my opponent just immediately scoops here, so we don't get to see that happen. So we go to game number 2 now. Game number 2 was a bit crazy. You'll see how it was kind of crazy. It was a bit of a game. We open Kobai, opening Mercuria, Lancia, and Forlos. Good. These 2 hand traps are pretty good. Opponent opens Nibiru, Subversion, Wanted, Chostaros, and Draw. So he's going first here. We don't drop for loss early, I decide, okay, let me drop it only when I'm getting a guaranteed draw. So yeah, also we don't drop lands here. I decide to hold on to it, but if in this situation, I would make sure to draw full loss first, because if my opponent has call buy, Lancia can just avoid that call buy. Opponent draws into Diabell Star, Wanted, searches for Diabell, which he summons by discarding draw, and then here he will set up the Deception. He's going to go Deception. Here he tributes the Nibiru in hand, which is kind of crazy. I thought, like, why not just get rid of the Subversion instead. Anyways, adds the Hallowed Azamina, which he activates, and we chain the full loss. So here we are going to get a draw, but opponent goes chaining 3 Tristaros just to perform a quick synchro summon. So he uses all his monsters, and here he goes into Legatia, which is going to get him a draw. Summons Sylvia. I think he was supposed to send... Oh no, wait, hold up. Hold the front door. What just happened here? Something ain't right. So if he's performing a synchro summon, this is a level 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, 3s. Okay, which one's the synchro here though? I think this was a misplay. Yeah, this one doesn't say you can use it as a what? Yeah, it doesn't say you can use that tuner. So to summon Legatia, this is a synchro 12 also never. So this is 3. Okay, uses all 3 of these monsters, but he did... Oh, okay, yeah, he sent Subversion for... Sorry, my bad guys. I thought he made a misplay where he didn't send a card for Hallowed Azamina. So we draw a card, we draw into... Was it Mercuria or was it Fusion Deployment? I think it was Fusion Deployment. So yeah, oh, Mercuria, whatever the case is. Geisha draws into Fenrir, goes Wanted here, puts back Subversion to draw, draws into Droplet, pretty good draw. On res of Subversion though, on first goes Smiger to add Inclusion, activates Inclusion to add a card to hand, so add Safado, but here I decide on res I want to chain Lancia. Oh, is it not here yet? No, we go Safado, Foolish Burial, 2 names. Okay, on the res of this, I decide to go Lancia. Here, my opponent, he was a bit rushing through his combo, but we drop the Lancia on res of Safado, to which our opponent does not chain the Sylvia. Totally fine, he sets the droplets and passes turn. Now here we draw into Duplication. So we have deployment, we have opening, we have call buy to deal with this card, but unfortunately, I thought this was an imperm, didn't realize it would be a droplet. Activate deployment, no response, go opening, discard Mercuria because Duplication's better off in our hand, or set as well. Summon Aluba and Cartesia. Aluba effect here will search. Chainlink 2 will be Deception. I didn't realize this Deception has the effect where basically he can make us lose 1500 LP and he's gain 1500 LP only because he has an Azamina monster and a monster was sent to your opponent's graveyard. I didn't realize I had it. I completely forgot I even had that effect. But Chainlink 3 will be Droplet where he sends Safado and Fenrir, so he is going to negate both our monsters, so no fusion, no search for us. So unfortunately we have no further plays here, so we're just going to end up setting call buy and Duplication and pass our turn. Opponent draws for turn, draws into Safado. Main phase activates Smiger, banishing it to add Inclusion from deck to hand. Inclusion will be activated here to get him a search, but do we do something on res? Yes, we go Cartesia, which resolves. Going to Grand Gugno here, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 will Deception, so we do take a bit of damage here as well. Opponent gains quite a bit of life points as well. We send Sarania here luckily resolves, so we send Brand of Fusion, so now Duplication is perfectly set up. Activates Inclusion, searches for Cluster. Here I believe he does go Dicefern here, which will add Tristaros from deck to hand. Still has a normal summoned. On res, I think we do something here. Yeah, we go Duplication, Chainlink 2, Sylvia, but we just call by that, so Duplication will resolve. So here decide we're going to actually go for Sanctifier. So first we summon Albion just to put more bodies on the field, and then we're going to go Albion effect, banish Albaz and Cartesia to go into Sanctifier, and it's because we have Lancia in the graveyard, so we're going to basically abuse Sanctifier's effect. So we target his Droll and my Lancia, and then once Lancia is summoned we trigger its effect, so now he can't banish any more card effects. So yeah, that was the play there, luckily for us, but unfortunately you'll see that we put our monsters in defense. It's because one, he plays Cyber Infinity, so he could steal one of our attack position fusion monsters except Sanctify, because Infinity effect to Steel is a target effect, but because he plays Crystron, Alescalatus will reduce our monster's attack and defense by 500, so he's going to get over our bodies regardless, but we just want to reduce how much damage we take here. So that's why they're in defense. Normal summon Justaris, Sulfado effect, pop the inclusion. I believe he goes Fafnir effect here. Yeah, okay, well, Sulfado effect first to fully feral, just sends Fafnir. Then he's going to go Fafnir. I'm pretty sure he does that. I think that's what he does next. Yeah, Fafnir, discard the trap, summon itself, and then pop itself, which will end up summoning Scythe from the deck. Another tuner, synchros off into Alescalatus, and then Alescalatus will add back the cluster to hand. This trap card is honestly so annoying. I have to get rid of it as soon as possible, guys. Enters battle phase, yeah. Be able to go over Sanctify and Grand Gugno, leaves Albion so he doesn't get his graveyard effect, sets the trap and passes turn. We draw for turn, we draw into Lancia, unfortunately no further plays. So we summon the Steel Rebellion. Here I believe my opponent does go Scythe effect here just to summon Sulfado and quick synchro. Here he synchros off into FA Dragster. We then go Rebellion effect here, Grand Gugno effect here on res because of that Scythe effect. Summon here. Here we summon Kratos because summoning Quem isn't going to do anything in our graveyard. Honestly, it's not going to do much. So we summon Kratos just to hopefully, you know, poke a bit of damage if we can. We go Rebellion, set Lost, to which on res our opponent is going to activate Cluster and end up popping Rebellion and Lost. So all of that is unfortunately destroyed. We go Kratos just to make his monster attack 0. Now here's the thing. Legacia protects his monsters with 2000 less attack to not be destroyed by battle. So yeah, unfortunately we this is the only monster that cannot be destroyed by battle. But that side, okay, I kind of forgot that this thing doesn't have less than 2000 attack. So I should have this thing it was actually this thing is making our monsters Kratos attack only 2000. So yeah, we kind of can't go over Dragster, so we end up just going to attacking into Legacia, poke for 2000. 500, yeah, did he forget? Yeah, he did forget. So this was a misplay. It's supposed to be 2000 attack, not 2500. So we go end phase, Albion set Retribution because FA Dragster is on the field. So we just move on. We enter, opponent draws into Unicorn, enters main phase, goes Cluster to pop his Synchro. Totally fine, no response there. But on the resolution, the Synchro effect to Reborn, we are going to go Retribution, negate that so he doesn't get further plays, and on res we are going to chain the Lancia so he doesn't do anything further. Here my opponent simply changes Legacia to defense and he will pass turn because he can't do much because of Lancia. So we draw for turn, we draw into our third copy of Lancia, so yeah, it's looking a bit rough here. We enter battle phase, we just destroyed this because now finally Kratos has 2500 attack, can get over the Dragster, and this is not destroyed by Legacia's effect. So that gets destroyed, enters main phase 2, and we'll simply pass turn. Opponent draws into Smiger. In draw phase, we are going to drop the Lancia, but this doesn't stop my opponent, and you'll see how. So here in main phase, he is going to go, I think he goes Fafnir. Yeah. So Fafnir, summon itself, pop itself, and it will. He pops the Deception. He pops the Deception. I'm not sure why. He just wants to get the level 5 body on the field. Cluster here, pop draw, shuffle back Alescalatus, and then Sulfado effect here, send the trap to summon itself. So it has 2 level 5 bodies, overlays unfortunately into Infinity, which is kind of rough for us because now he's going to go Chainlink 1 Infinity to steal, Chainlink 2 Kratos, just hoping he would bait out the negate, but he doesn't do it. So yeah, steals the fusion, can't deal damage because it's at 0. So we draw for turn, we just have droplets and I simply scooped it. No plays whatsoever, so we go to game number 3, final game. So we are going first here. We open High Spirits, Deployment, Super Poly, Sanctum, and Golden Sword. So opponent opens Wanted, Fenrir, Justaris, Sulfado, and Smiger. So no hand traps. So even though I had High Spirits, my plan was here, Fusion Deployment, Summon Cartesia, and if I was playing 2 copies of Grand Gugno, right, we will go High Spirits, send Sword Soul, search for Albion the Shrouded, effect, send Retribution, then Chainlink to Cartesia, Fusion summons to Grand Gugno, dump Serenia, and that way we'll get Brand Fusion's hand. You know, that was the line, but unfortunately we only play 1 Grand Gugno, so we're going to have to summon the Cartesia, and then we are going to go Cartesia effect here to Fusion summon, going to Grand Gugno. Grand Gugno here is going to go send Titanic Lad, set Super Poly, Sanctum, End phase, Titan will summon Quim, and Quim here will put an Albaz name in the graveyard, just so there's a name there for us, and Cartesia add to hand just for discard fodder. So we pass turn here, and honestly we're just hoping that Sanctum can help us survive a turn. Opponent draws for turn, and unfortunately he draws into the Ash Blossom, the bane of Branded's existence. So moving on, draw phase, wanted, search for Black Witch, and then main phase he is going to special summon Fenrir first, which is kind of rough. So Fenrir, search for Unicorn, summon Black Witch. Black Witch here is actually only going to set the Subversion, not Deception. Activates the Subversion, targeting Grangugno, and here I decide, okay, we are going to change Super Poly here, so Grangugno doesn't end up in the spawn trap zone. So we use Grangugno and use Black Witch to go into Dragos Depelia. So we have basically a negate there, but then we trigger Quem because we are playing Masquerade, so I wanted to put Masquerade on the field. But this triggers Fenrir, which will target Dragos Depelia, but Dragos Depelia will simply negate Fenrir. On raise, we're going to go Cartesia, Fecture, summon Masquerade, so now he's going to be paying some taxes. Here now, I decide to go Sanctum, hoping to resolve this, but it gets hits with Ash Blossom. And here is where I cry. So yeah, now we just have Masquerade. We do have Grangugno as well, but yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we are kind of rough, in a rough spot. So moving on, opponents normal summon Chostaros, Smigo effect to add inclusion, and then inclusion here is going to add, I think he adds the trap card to his hand. I think he adds, yeah, adds the trap card to his hand. Moving on, links off into the Clockwork Knight, and then sets up his play for SP, which unfortunately SP is not going to banish Masquerade, but he will banish Grangugno, which is a little rough for us. Moving on, my opponent then goes, I think goes Safado. Yeah, Safado pop the inclusion, summon itself, and then Foolish Burial 2 names. Here he sends Safafnia and Dicefern. Dicefern effector will add Smiger to hand. He's then going to go Safafnia effect, discard, summon itself, 2 level 5 bodies. Well, not yet, 2 level 5, yeah, now there's 2 level 5 bodies. Moving on, overlays into Nova, then Infinity. Yeah, you see where this is going. Goes Infinity effect here to target Dragos Depelia. So yeah, don't worry about what's happening now, there's slight misclicks there. Steal the Dragos Depelia so he doesn't have that negate. Enters battle phase, deals some damage. So you take a bit of damage there. Main phase 2 activates the inclusion to reborn Chostaros. Goes wanted, put back Subversion and draws. He draws into Birth, pretty good draw for him. Sets the trap, which we know this is the trap. Activates Birth, and here I decide, you know what, Birth effecture, you're going to summon Fenrir. All I have is High Spirits. I have nothing more in my graveyard, unfortunately, so we just scoop. Just scoop there, so unfortunately we end up losing this, but yeah. That was quite a crazy game, especially game number 2. So yeah, that was the do, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.